Atari brings the computer age home.
Gotta run, gotta go!
Play it again, huh, Dad?
With an Atari home computer,
Have a nice day at the office.
you can easily work at home or open your home to a world of possibilities. In fact, the hardest part about owning an Atari home computer isn't how to use it, but who gets to use it.
Lock it closed, Dad. Mind if I do my work?
Hey, no problem.
Atari home computers, we brought the computer age home.
This is the Atari 800 home computer. Released in November of 1979, it features an 8-bit MOS Technology 6502 clocked at 1.8 MHz, 8 KB of RAM expandable to 48 KB, 4 internal expansion slots, a built-in RF modulator to easily plug in the Atari to a television, 2 cartridge slots, RGB video, as well as a 128 color palette. The Atari 800 introduced custom chips to computing with special coprocessors for sound and graphics to take the load off the CPU. It also included hardware sprites, something that the Commodore 64 adopted many years later. The Atari 800 is a very capable games machine. Let's take a closer look at the unit. Removing the front panel exposes the 4 cartridge slots. The first slot is reserved for the Atari Operating System, or AOS. The other 3 slots are used up with 16 KB memory expansions, bringing this machine up to its maximum 48 KB. Opening up the machine is simple. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, it's easy to remove the bottom case. Note the solid aluminium shielding inside the unit itself. Very impressive. Atari was certainly concerned about FCC regulations at the time. Board at the base of the motherboard contains another card labeled CPU. It provides Atari's graphics chips as well as the 6502 microprocessor. The 2 graphics chips are called the Antic and GTIA. These are custom chips designed well before the Amiga, but as with the Amiga, they were both designed by J. Miner. Antic provides the Atari's graphics modes, playfield and scrolling capabilities, while the GTIA handles the hardware sprites, collision detections, amongst other things. The Atari 8-bit computers are very impressive graphics machines, and there's still a very strong demo scene to this day. The custom audio chip is the Pot Keyboard Integrated Circuit, or POKI as it's affectionately known. It is widely used throughout the Atari 8-bit computer line and many arcade games from the 80s. It features 4 8-bit channels or 2 16-bit channels, or a combination of both. The POKI is comparable to the SID chip from the Commodore 64 that came years later, and some argue it's a better sounding chip overall. Make up your own conclusions. The Atari 1050 floppy disk drive connects to the Atari 800 via the SIO port, or Serial Input Output. The SIO was an Atari standard that allowed devices including printers, floppy disk drives, cassette decks, modems and expansions all to be connected via the same interface. Pretty cool considering all the different expansion ports you would typically see on the back of a normal 8-bit home computer. So let's test out a couple of games. I should mention my Atari 800 is plugged into my Commodore 1084S monitor. Well guys, so what did you think of the Atari 800? What an awesome computer. Now the graphics and sound rival the Commodore 64 and arguably are better than the Commodore 64, which came out years later. It's a real testament to the engineering and design team that put this machine together. Now I've only really scratched the surface with the games, and there's a lot more that I need to get through. I've got about 300 floppy disks to go through. Now I know there's a lot of classics that I haven't looked at yet, but rest assured I'll get to them eventually. Now I've had so much fun playing with the Atari 800 computer. It's just a fantastic machine. I'm so glad I picked it up from the Craigslist deal a couple of weeks ago and put some time and effort into cleaning it up. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now.